Good morning, guys. My name is Ray Alvarez. I represent Rally Camp. If you could do me a big favor, though, before you get started, if you can go ahead and clear up your desk. In other words, go ahead and take your notebook and all that good stuff, put it, or your backpack. Go ahead and put it underneath your desk, the Kumho or the pants in front of you. Keep it on there, please. Okay, we'll get to use that a little bit later in the presentation. Great, thank you. All right, guys, I'm going to show you a quick video right here. It's the way I like to get the presentation started. Take a look at the video. We'll talk a little bit about it. So relax, enjoy it. Great. Awesome, guys. What do you guys think about the video? Motivating? Inspiring? Good. Awesome. Really great words. Well, guys, here's what I would like to do first of all. Before we get started, I'd like to thank Mr. Smith for inviting me to his class and having me come in and talk to you guys about college after high school. It's always great that he gives up a little bit of a time for classroom work and allows me to share my passion of college once you leave high school. Okay? So here's what I'd like to do. Today I want to accomplish 5 different things with you. I want to make the presentation interactive as possible. So do me a favor, if you have a question, stop, raise your hand, I'll acknowledge you, and we'll take it from there. Second, I'm going to validate a lot of the choices of colleges that you already made before even I came in. So when you walk out of here, you're going to go, that's the reason why I'm going to college. Third and more important, we're going to discover your strengths. And then we're going to take those strengths and match them with the college or university you're thinking of going once you leave high school. Fourth, I'm going to expose you to many different schools out there. Schools that you probably never heard of. But technically, my job and my passion is to give you the options, the tools, so that way you're able to make the right choices after high school. Fifth, I want to earn the right to stay connected with you. Rally Camp, we want to partner with you as you go through your high schools and venture into college. We want to make sure that we're always connected with you to help you and guide you on the choices you're making. Okay? So what I'd like to do, let's go ahead and get started. But before we do that, I do want to ask you 5 questions. 4 questions, actually. You want to get to know a little bit more about you so that way we can have a better presentation. So when I ask the question, if it applies to you, do me a favor, raise your hand, I'll acknowledge you, and then we'll go from there. Okay? Now, first of all, how many guys have decided now that you're about to graduate from high school, once you really graduate from high school, all you really want to do is get a job, make money. In other words, you're done with education, you're not looking at doing anything more except just want to work. Awesome, good. Second question, how many guys are thinking going into the military once you leave high school? Awesome, that's great. For me, it was a great option straight out of high school. I actually joined the service. Did that for about 5 years, actually. Had the greatest time in the world, got to travel, got to meet different people, and really got to see places and cultures that I've never would have known, but for not actually joining the military. Okay. And third question, how many of you guys are going straight into a community college once you leave here? That's like Santa Ana City College, Cypress, OCC, Golden West. Okay, awesome. And fourth and last question, how many of you guys are going straight into a university or college once you leave high school? Well, that's great. Awesome, good stuff. Well, thank you. I appreciate you sharing that with me, that I can finally, I can somewhat tailor the presentation according to my audience. All right, so let's go ahead and get started, guys. What I'd like you to do is go ahead and take the Kumho that you have in front of you. I'm going to use this right now for a second here, and it should be on already. Now, what I'd like you to do, once you turn your Kumho on, or the pad on, first of all, what you want to do is, basically open it up. Is put your finger on the lock here, roll it over, and that should open it up. Now, most of you will probably be in this page right here, like the one that's on the board here. Okay. So what I like to do, first of all, it's going to ask you to choose your ambassador ID. Well, that's me. Okay. Now I put on the board right here. My ambassador ID is 33. But what I'd like you to do, if you click the drop menu, just click on it, drop, and it'll choose the number 33. Okay. Perfect. Now it's going to ask you for your high school CB code, and I put it up here on the board for you. Now this is a very important number. In fact, you want to write that number, and I'm really going to ask you to write it on this piece of paper that I gave you. Go ahead and put the CEB code up here, because that's a number that you really want to know, because as you start applying for colleges and universities, and also even for scholarships, they're going to ask you for that number. It's called your CEB code or SAT code. Okay? I put it up here for you, write it on a piece of paper, and if you can put it on there. Now, if you do me a big favor, it says teacher's name. Go ahead and put Mr. Smith's name on it, please, if you may. Great. Awesome. Okay. So the next page you should have in front of you, it's kind of like a name tag, and it says hello. Okay. Now we're going to ask you to please put your last name and your first name. Okay. So if you go ahead and click on that says last name and first name, go ahead and put your last name and first name, please. And hit next. Okay. Now, one thing, please, I want you guys to understand that the pad that you have, or the cooler that you have in front of you, it's not connected to the Wi-Fi. So if for some reason or another you were to hit backspace, it's going to reset everything. Okay? So hence, don't hit the backspace. Okay? Just ask me and I'll tell you what you need to do. Okay? But don't hit the backspace because it'll completely erase everything. Okay? Now you're probably in the page right now. It says "Nice to meet you." Now it's going to ask you some information such as birthday, your background, and your if you're male or female. Let me let you know why are we asking this information, because we might find scholarships that are out there that are actually a good match towards you. My understanding is there's scholarships so specific that if you have blue eyes, there are actually scholarships for you. If you're left-handed, so go beyond the scholarships that we always think about, like the McDonald's, the Walmart's, or the Microsoft, or the Hispanic College Fund. You know, there are very, very specific, unique scholarships out there that sometimes we don't hear about unless we actually do the research on it. So we'd love to match you with that. Okay? So go ahead and put your birthday. Now for electricity, go ahead and choose. Now if you're kind of a mix like me, then obviously you want to put other. And of course, if you're a male or female. If you can take care of that, would be greatly appreciated. All right, now the next page you should be on it's going to ask you for your favorite things that you like to do. These are things you like to do outside of high school. So think about things like, for example, your hobbies. You know, where you like to go, what you like to do, what do you like to hang out at. You get to choose, 3 of them out there. So go ahead and choose and think of things you like to do, not what other people want you to do, but you. All right, perfect. Now, I'm going to ask you for your year of graduation. Now, obviously, if you're a senior, 2016. If you're a junior, you're 2017. Okay? It's going to ask you for your GPA. Now, I'm not sure if you want to put your weighted, unweighted, total. Just put the GPA you think you have. Okay? Again, it could be a 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, or anything in between. Now, again, we're matching you with scholarships. Okay? Now, if you're taking the SAT or the ACT, and if you know your scores, put it on there. Most people don't really know them. If you haven't taken them, just click I haven't taken them, I haven't taken them. Okay? Now, if you already made a choice where you're going to go after you graduate from high school, go ahead and put the name of the school. Just, I made a choice, and here's the name of the school you're going to go into. Again, scholarships, guys. We need to find some scholarship out there that are very particularly, well, they're aligned with you, but they're also aligned to the college or university you're planning to go. So we want to match with that. Okay? So once you do that, go ahead and click next, please. All right. Now, remember the 4 questions I was asking in the beginning? Well, this is where you get to put them on your pad here, okay? Again, the first one is you're going to go straight to work. In other words, you're done with education, more math, more English, more econ, more government, you're going straight to work. Second is you're going to military. Like I told you, for me, it was a great option. Gave me a chance to explore the world, see different things. If you're going to go to community college, go ahead and put it on there. If you're going to go get an associate's degree, a bachelor's degree, or if you're going to go get a diploma certificate. Now, what does that mean? Okay? Those are career-focused schools, and we'll talk a little bit about that as we go through the presentation. But I want you to think, for example, let's say you want to be an auto mechanic, okay? And you say to yourself, well, that's all I really want to do. Well, maybe you don't need a bachelor's degree. All you need is a diploma or certificate. If you're that kind of person, you're totally undecided, you're not sure what you want to do, just go ahead and put it, not sure. Awesome, great, thank you. All right. Now, I want you to tell us what is the ideal experience for you as far as college. Now, let me explain that this is very critical, all right? Let's say you're more of the hands-on learner. Now, what does that mean, okay? Think about it this way. Let's say you're the kind of person that you love hearing the lecture, you love doing the project, and now you're taking a test. In other words, if you excel in ROP classes, then you're probably a hands-on learner. In other words, you learn a little bit different than other people. Traditional colleges, this is the opposite. Let's say you're the type of person that you can hear the lecture, remember, and take the test. You're very independent. You stay awake at night. In other words, you're disciplined. You're able to be very disciplined in the things you do. You may love the bigger school, the campuses. You got the fraternities, sororities, the football team, the basketball team. Those are called traditional colleges, okay? Then you have what's called campus and online. It's what we like to call a hybrid, okay? This is where you go to some classes, and then you also do online classes. Then you have what's called online learning. Now that's 100% through the internet. In other words, because of the internet today, we're able to even take classes today, even in high school, believe it or not, or in high school, some students actually take online classes at a high school level. But this is primarily where you're doing 100% everything through the internet. Now, personally, I think it's a great tool. If you're a little bit older, let's say if you're mid 20s, you have a family, you have responsibility, you don't have the time and commitment to go sit in a classroom, then perhaps online learning or even hybrid learning will be something for you. Personally, for me, if you're a high school student, progression after high school should be into a campus. You can't really duplicate what you get online versus a campus sitting on the classroom. Again, that's up to you though. This is just me personally. All right, I want you guys to do me a big favor right here. Go ahead and put the pad down. Just keep the pad. You can still see the pad, but just look at me for a second, okay? On the bottom right there where it says Rally Cap, like the logo I have here, there's an opt-in and opt-out, okay? You're in the driver's seat today, guys. So you get to choose what you want to do. So let me explain what that means. You can opt in to receive information, and you can opt out to receive information, okay? Now let me give you the benefits if you opt in to receive information. First of all, you are going to be taking what's called an E3 behavioral assessment, okay? And we'd like to email you a copy of that so you can understand your strengths. But we can't do that if you don't give us the authorization. I'm going to introduce you to many colleges and universities towards the end of the presentation. And if you find one that is a perfect match for you, they love to connect with you, but because you didn't give us authorization, then they will not be able to communicate with you, okay? Third, and more important is, we want to stay connected with you. As we find different things out there for you, as we come up with different, just different things that will benefit you, give you more, empower you more to do more things with your future. We may find a new scholarship, or the SATs are going to be coming here, or whatever may have you. We want to stay connected with you. Thus, if you don't give us the authorization, then we're not able to connect with you. Again, you're in the driver's seat. Go ahead and make a choice. Awesome, great. Once you do that, please go ahead and do next. And it's going to ask you a little bit more information. First of all, it's going to ask you for your mobile number or home number. Now, as we discover colleges that are matched for you, because I'm going to introduce you again to about 300 different colleges towards the end, they want to connect with you, but they wouldn't know how to connect with you unless you provide some source of communication or way of communicating with you. Okay? So go ahead and put your number, and then your address, and your zip code. Great. Awesome. Okay. Here's what I want you to look at. Think about your dream career. Think of your vision. Think where you see yourself 3-4 years from now. In other words, do you see yourself working in the field? Do you see yourself working in a hospital? Do you see yourself working in an office? Where do you see yourself 3-4 years from now? Again, this is your vision. This is what drives you every morning. This is your passion. This is inside of your guts. This is what wakes you up in the morning and says, that's what I'm doing this for, okay? Choose up to 3 of them. Now, some of the careers actually kind of go hand in hand. I'll give you an example. Business and healthcare. Okay? Business, healthcare kind of go hand in hand. So choose 3 of them, please, if you may. Perfect. All right. You should be on this page right here. Now, we're about to take the behavioral assessment. Okay? This is going to discover your strengths. Okay? One reminder again, do not hit the back button because it'll restart everything all over again. Remember, we're not connected to the Wi-Fi. Okay? Now you're going to see a bunch of different words that describe you. Basically, they're adjectives. And what is an adjective? Description, exactly. Okay? So you're going to see different words that describe you. Not what people describe you as, but words that you feel describe you. So for a second here, as you're taking this, I want you to think about you, how you describe yourself, okay? Because frankly, you're going to see a word like sexy. You'll see handsome. You'll see passionate. So think about words that describe you. You'll get to choose as many as you want, okay? Click on it, choose, go for it. All right, perfect. Now, it should be in this space, like I have on my screen, it says UBU with all the colorful stuff and everything. Well, this is where you get to input your email. Remember, I told you, got to give us the authorization, in other words, for us to send you a copy of this. Okay, so you go ahead and put your email. Now, you're welcome to also put your parents' email if you want them to get a copy. That's really up to you. Okay, totally up to you. All right, so go ahead and do that, please. And then once you do that, keep going, and voila, you have your results. Okay. Now you can take your pad actually because it's interactive. Remember, you can actually touch and it'll give you a little bit of a description as far as what the words or what it means to you. In other words, this is what you told us. We compiled everything you told us about yourself, and then we created an assessment for you. Okay. So click on it, and it'll tell you. For example, if it says you're the person that's do it, then click on it, and it'll tell you exactly a little bit of description of what it means. What it means basically. Great. Perfect. That's really good. Awesome. Okay. Now, what I'd like you to do once you do that, go ahead and click Next. Okay. Now, I want you to grab this sheet right here. Okay. This is yours. Remember, this is the one you rolled the CEB code on it. Okay. Very important that you do that. Okay. Now, what I'd like you to do is the check marks that you have on your pad there. I want you to correlate them here. So, in other words, if you got a check mark, let's say that says medium and large, okay, go ahead and put them on here. Okay, because that's going to define, for example, what type of campus environment you like. Okay, if you are more of education delivery, you like the online, all that good stuff, go ahead and put the check mark right there. This is your roadmap, guys. This is the roadmap that's going to help you and guide you to choose the right schools once we get towards the end of the presentation. Okay, so again, take your time, put the check marks down here, please, and don't forget the CEB code. All right, once you've done that, go ahead and put it down. And now, before you go ahead and just explore the colleges and universities out there for you, kind of want to give you what I call a crash course in college, or what RallyCap calls College 101. Okay. See, the reason we do this, guys, is because as we go from school to school, state to state, county to county, we find that a lot of students have really a lack of understanding what is college going to look like once you leave school. And sometimes we find that they make mistakes. They go to different colleges and universities just to realize, like, wow, this is not what I really thought it was going to be. What we like to do now is give you a roadmap. Well, we give you the roadmap, but we want to give you education and empower you with a little bit more information, so that way you're able to make the right choices. Okay. So first of all, understand there are about 4,500 different colleges and universities out there. That's a lot. Frankly, I never thought there were that many schools out there, but they are. Roughly about 4,500 different colleges and universities you can choose to go to. So you're going to discover what's called private and also public. And what is the difference? We'll talk a little bit about liberal arts. But what is the difference between a university or college, public? How do they get funded? All kinds of different stuff. So we're going to really get deep into understanding a little bit about what post-secondary or college life will look like after you graduate from high school. Okay? All right, so let's talk about public and private. First of all, is the way they get funded. Okay, now let me give you an example of what I mean by that. Public are schools, for example, like the Cal States, the community colleges around here, like FJC, OCC, Cal State University. In other words, they're getting their funding through the government, both the state and sometimes federal. Okay, on a private level, think of a school like Chapman University. Okay, they get their funding a little bit different, tuition, endowment. In other words, a little bit different way they get funded. Okay, cost is different. Public, a little cheaper. Private, a little bit more expensive. Now, shouldn't that make a difference? Well, it all depends on your goals and objectives, and that's the main thing to look at. Okay, so again, we'll weigh costs. We'll talk about it. We're going to look at accreditation and transferability. Now, this is a key area that I have a passion for, is that you understand what we mean by accreditation and credibility, or transferability. First of all, under accreditation, there are two types. There's what's called a regional and a national accreditation. Now, what's the difference? Okay, a regional accreditation kind of looks at schools in a different way, more academic. And a national accreditation looks at schools in a different way. In other words, they look at what's called employment, or how quickly are they getting you to the job. Okay, transferability is the biggest thing. So let's say, for example, you go to a nationally accredited college, and all of a sudden you said, no, I want to transfer to a regionally accredited college. Got to be careful. Credits not be transferable. Okay, understand that. size of enrollment, public, large, private, smaller. Amenities, dorms, no dorms, okay? Student-teacher ratio, that's really big here. In a public, you may be sitting in a lecture hall, or you're gonna have a teacher way down there, and he or she, the professor, has anywhere between 4 to 5 different assistants. In private, like let's say Chapman, you have a lot more interaction with the teacher. In other words, student-to-teacher ratio, a lot smaller. Admission requirements is a big thing. Both public and private have different requirements. You gotta research that because you don't want to miss any particular thing not being able to get into the school or university. Okay. Now, how do you get into college? Well, some of them are very difficult. Let's say, for example, they have different requirements, and some of them have what's called open enrollment or what's called rolling admissions. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. 90% of schools today do require that you graduate from high school. Okay. There are very few schools out there that you can still get away not graduating from high school. But the majority of schools, both private colleges, public, even career-focused education schools, they do require that you graduate from high school, okay, or have what's called a GED. Most schools will look at your grades, anywhere from freshman all the way up to senior. And again, depending on the school you're getting into, they may go all the way down to freshman. Some schools may look at your last year, okay? Writing skill has become really big today. And in fact, your SAT today, you actually write. You know, when I took the SAT way many years ago, you didn't have to take, you have to write. Well, today, guess what? They want you to write an essay, okay? And writing an entrance exam is really critical for you as far as sometimes that may be the last piece of them saying yes, you're accepted or not accepted, okay? Also for scholarship purposes. Believe it or not, a lot of the scholarships do require some type of personal statement about you. In the years that I've been working in education, we find that sometimes it outweighs even grades or anything else. I've been witness to students who probably didn't have a great GPA, but the way they express themselves, their struggles, their hurdles, and how they overcame that, and you know, the better citizen they are, how much more they're contributing back to the community, made a difference for them to either get the scholarship or not get the scholarship. Okay. My suggestion is when you write your entrance or scholarship exam, look to your teachers, your English teachers. They're great writers, and they'll probably want to help you and better, you know, how can you better express yourself? Okay. SAT or SAT, most schools do require that. Some career-focused schools, in fact, most of them don't require that. Most public and private colleges do require that as a measurement as to where the student gets in. Now, most schools do what's called holistic view. In other words, look at the student as a whole and not just as one. Okay. Or just, you know, grades and so forth, okay? So remember that. All right, here's the biggest confusion. A lot of students don't understand this. And, you know, over the years that I've been working with education, I find that a lot of students lack the information that that you need in order to make the right choices, okay? So first of all, let me introduce you to them. High school diploma, pretty simple. You're working on it. You're sitting out right now. You spend the last 4 years working towards your high school diploma, unless you're a super senior. Then you're going to be a little bit longer, but normally it takes 4 years, okay? Community college, you're going to get what's called an associate degree or an associate of science, or excuse me, associate of arts degree. Normally takes about 2 years. National Lab says about 2.5 years. Let's try to get it done in 4, okay? At a bachelor's level, what's called a bachelor's degree, that's a 4-year university or college. You're spending about 4 years there. Again, National Lab says about 4.8 years. Let's try to get it done in 4 years, okay? Again, if you go to master's, 2 more years, 3 more years, law degree, PhD, whatever may have you, add in the years, okay? So, but you got to understand one thing. Some of the careers that you choose today, all you really knew is a bachelor's degree, okay? So I encourage every one of you, all my students actually, is if you take this page here, and what I'm going to do now is have you write up here on the side of it, it's called the BLS, okay? And I put up on the board here, it's called the Bureau of Labor Statistics, okay? What I'd like you to do, it's a government website, so it has nothing to do with Raleigh Cap or any college or university. I'd like you to go there and type in the career you want to do on the search bar, and then it'll output and give you what is the degree that you need. So, for example, if you're going to put nursing, it'll tell you what degree you need. If you're going to put teacher, it'll give you all that. So it's a great way to really be able to put what degree I'm going to need based on my career. In other words, what we call a Raleigh Cap, let's work backwards. Okay? Awesome. Now, remember we got 4,500 different schools out there? Let's break them down a little bit. Okay? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to put them in different sections, 3 different sections if you may. Okay? We're going to label them as career-focused education schools, community colleges, 4-year traditional colleges, university, both private and public. Okay, so remember 3 different areas or pots, whatever you want to call them. Okay, so we'll start with the first one. Let's look at community college. Well, community college, like I told you guys, this is primarily where you go for 2 years and get what's called an Associate of Arts degree. Okay, you'll spend the first 2 years taking a lot of general education courses: math, English, history, science, government, econ, and biology. In other words, what you're trying to accomplish is to complete and then transfer into a college or university of your choice. Okay? Remember that. Okay? Now, some community colleges have a great program. Let's say you want to be the auto mechanic that we're talking about. I'll give you an example. It's Cypress. Cypress and Santa Ana City College here in Orange County have 2 of the best auto mechanic programs you can get into. So you go there and you get a training specifically into that. Welding, okay? So weigh the difference, because some of you may say, okay, well, what about career-focused schools? What's the difference? Why can't I go get it at a community college better? Again, you gotta weigh the difference on it. But I want you to understand, a lot of community colleges do offer those kind of training, okay? They're local, so you don't have to travel too far. You can commute back and forth and get to stay home. All right, specialty or career-focused colleges. Now let me explain what they are. These are your, for example, like your UTI, your ITT, for example, American Career Colleges. In other words, this is where you come in, you get a specific training, and you're out. Now, some of them will give you either bachelor's or associates, but again, you're not looking for transferability. You're looking at coming in and literally getting a career and getting out. The way they work is primarily they take your core classes, your major, and your general educations, and you combine them, and you get your blending learning, what I like to call, and then you're in and you're out. Okay? Again, credits may not be transferable. So that's very important. You want to understand that. For example, let's say you get an associate's degree and all of a sudden you say, oh, I'm going to transfer to Cal State UC. Will not work. Okay? However, though, I suggest that before you go there or apply, call the school you ultimately want to transfer to and say, hey, I'm about to attend, this career-focused college. What might credits be transferable to your college or university? Okay? They have an open admissions. They primarily just require a high school diploma, and pretty much that's it. They're open admission, what's called rolling admission. In other words, they're constantly accepting students. Okay? All right, traditional colleges, you get more of the dorm life, other amenities, the sport programs, the swimming pool, the larger campuses, the track fields. Admission process is a little bit more different, a little bit more harder. Again, you have to have graduated from high school. They look at your test scores, they look at your grades. And again, depending on what school you're going to go through, we can look at anywhere from, the Harvards to the Cal States, the Chapmans. You got to understand there's different admission process for each different school. Now, right now, being towards the middle of October, you're about to come in one deadline right now, very critical for a lot of you, especially if you're going to go to college, university, and that's November 30th, where you have to have submitted your paperwork before you can actually be considered. Okay, so again, if you haven't, you better start moving on it. Okay, so again, public and private have different requirements, but you got to do the research behind that. Okay, so you're in charge. Okay, like I keep telling you, you're in charge, you're in the driver's seat. You're focusing on yourself. What's the best resource for you? What is all that? But I want you to always understand there are people out there with more passion than me, perhaps. You have your counselors, your teachers, your avid teachers, even the schools that you're planning to go to. They're there for you as a resource. They can tell you and guide you a little bit more as far as what is needed. We're an additional resource at RallyCap. We can provide you with those extra tools. So whatever we can do to help you really succeed in college, because frankly, we don't want you to get to college, and I really mean this because that's kind of our philosophy at RallyCap, is that we don't want you to get to college and all of a sudden you say, oh, this is not what I thought it was going to be, and I drop out. I have a teacher at Loyola High School. His student got accepted at Duke University, and she was attending Duke University back in North Carolina, and all of a sudden she said, after 2 years, this is not what I want to do. I can't believe I'm here. And she found this really small college in, I think it was Prescott, Arizona, he was telling me. And all of a sudden she left there from Duke University over to, Prescott, Arizona. So in other words, we have a belief that if we can empower you today to make the choices correctly, the likelihood of you second guessing once you get to college will become less. And that's really our passion. All right, so that's College 101 in a nutshell. All right, so what I'm going to do now is introduce you to colleges and university. Okay, so I want you to grab this right here because this is your roadmap right here. Okay, now you're looking at some spotlight schools right here. You probably have a little different schools on your pad there. And spotlight school, I want you to kind of understand what they are. Again, LACC, Los Angeles City College in Los Angeles, Vermont. Again, you guys are in Orange County, and I think you're going to move out there. But just to give you an understanding what a community college is, again, you have to be here in Orange County as things like Cybersec, ACC, OCC, Golden West, so forth. American Career College, pretty good school if you're thinking of going into, for example, medical assistant. My understanding is you go there for 9 months and boom, you're out of there in 9 months and now you're a medical assistant, you got LVNs and so forth and everything. Great program, good career focused college, okay? UAT, I gotta be frank with you, I've never heard of this school until I started working for RallyCap, but it's called the University of Advanced Technology. And so being me, I actually went online, did some research on it, and it's a great school. It's an awesome school. If you're one of those person that loves technology, and it's like that one student that was at Duke University transferred to another school because they do primarily 100% technology with bachelor's, master's, a gaming software. I mean, they do a great thing. Again, something to look at. Okay. Now you got feature schools. These are schools that are not local to you, and they're probably in different states. And there's the schools that are saying, "Hey, we're out here somewhere in the Midwest. We're out here in the East Coast. We love for you to come to us. We love for you to partner. We want to be your choice of education." So again, if you're interested in getting more information, again, that was the opt-in and opt-out. You can choose right there where it says "I'm interested," and they'll go ahead and send you that information to you, and they want to connect with you. Okay. Now, what I'd like you to do is you're probably on a map right now, okay? So I'm about to really, I don't want to say unleash you, but in essence, expand your knowledge of colleges and universities, much as I did when I learned about UAT, okay? Again, I didn't know it's here in Arizona. Probably I would have gone there because I wanted to do computers in high school. But anyways, what I'd like you to do, again, grab your Kuma or your pad. Again, don't hit the back button. If you do that, we're going back and we're starting all over again. Not good. We don't want to do that, okay? Now, the way it's assigned, it's set up, it's actually what you probably learned in 5th grade, the different states, if you want to remember that much. Remember, it's set up in the West, the Midwest, the Southwest, and the Northwest, okay? My son who's 10 years old is knowing this, so that's why I know this right now, okay? So the way it is divided by states or regions, and then you can choose a state where you want to go, okay? So let's start with California because we're here in California. Again, if you're thinking, you know what, someday I want to go to the Northeast anyways, entire California, I need rain or I need something else, let's just go, okay? You're welcome to do that if you want. But let's start in California. So what you do primarily is you hit the West and then you hit California. Once you hit California, then it's going to take you to it's going to show you the different colleges, university out there, okay? So just some of the ones that you see up here. Now, what you want to do, and this is what I mean by the map right here, okay, or your road map. If you look at the symbols on the side here, okay, and the bar here, they're correlated to the symbols on the school that you're looking at, okay? So we've actually broken down so you're able to go, okay, I see. So match that against the university and college you're going to. They're showcasing you, or you're looking at. If it matches you, then you want to hit I'm interested on it. And what's going to happen is they'll send you information on that school, and they'll probably contact you and talk to you a little bit more about the college, university they represent. Okay, and again, go through it. So take your time. And once you finish and you go, you know what, I want to look also at the Midwest. I want to look at other parts of the country. Again, don't hit the back button. I keep repeating that because I don't want you to start all over again. Again, if you look at the little blue box on the lower right, lower left-hand corner, it says Refine Search. If you click on that, it'll take you back to the map, and then now you can actually literally go in the different states or different regions. Okay? Please take your time. Let's go ahead and do this. This is very important. Again, I remember when I was going to college, or once I got in the military and I was going to go to college, I remember I explored about 10 different, and applied at 5 different colleges. I think one of them is actually one of the schools in there, Woodbury University. For me, it made sense, a private, smaller campus where I had more one-on-one with the teacher. It's an older college, and that was me. That was what I wanted. I didn't see myself in the big colleges, university. I wanted a little bit more personal touch with me. Okay? Again, Chapman University. I think at schools like that where the student and teacher ratio are a lot smaller. Again, but that's you. Again, once you find the schools, click on it and they'll send you information. Okay. Now, most of you should be on this page right now. By now, after you've done your search of schools, we're Rally Cap. We're always coming up with new things, building new things. We want to stay connected. We want to create, different things for you where you can actually stay connected. So let us know where you hang out the most as a student, okay? And we really are we're building different social sites, or not social sites, I shouldn't say it, but we're building places or building things for you. So if you're hanging out more on Facebook, which people think is a little bit more for older people now, do you hang out more on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat? Let us know exactly where you're hanging out at, please. Okay, go ahead next. Now you should all be at this page right now, and it's pretty much towards the last slide that we're going to look at. All right, great. Let's make sure everybody caught up already. All right, good stuff. All right, guys. Thank you actually for participating today. Really appreciate again Mr. Smith for allowing me to come over and be working with him for about 5 years now. And again, it's always nice that he allows me to share my passion of you going to college after you graduate from high school. But what I like to do is leave you with this thought. Okay, as you progress through here in high school and out of high school too, I want you to think about two statements. You probably hear these statements a lot, but you never really understood the meaning behind it. But I want to leave you with two statements, okay? And I want to challenge you with that also. So when people ask you, are you going to go to college? And other people ask you, so which college are you going to go to? What I'd like you to do is understand the difference in statements, okay? Because once you understand the difference in statements, you'll understand the progression after high school is college. Now, no matter if you do it after high school or sometime down the road, it's going to be college. So I challenge you as you go through high school and you're even this weekend when you meet your friends or family members and they ask you, hey man, what college are you going to go to? Or they ask you, are you going to go to college? I'd like you to stop them and say, look, the question should be never to me, am I going to go to college? The question should be, which college I'm going to go to. All right, thank you. Wish you the best of luck. And whatever you choose to do, you're on the right path. Have a good day.